So these Hollywood producers finally did it. They put The Rock in a superhero movie. Put together one of the biggest action stars with a CGI vomit fest, and you get Black Adam, an eyeball-searing 2 hours of peak blockbuster, for better or worse. But did this movie provide anything new or innovative? If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on all new reviews I put out here weekly at Off the Cover. And without further ado, on to the video. So far, Black Adam is a box office hit, despite some lackluster reviews. It's a fun movie without any woke baggage or messaging, something that's been missing throughout the dark ages of cinema over the past decade. It introduces a comically homicidal anti-hero who puts on an irreverent spin on the superhero genre. The film also subverts expectations by placing Dwayne Johnson into a more nuanced and darker role than he's marketed himself in the past. The film picks up in a perennially oppressed ancient Middle Eastern country with a skull-crushing entrance by a ludicrously violent Teth Adam, an ancient champion of Kandak. An introductory voiceover sets up his past, his powers, and the magical MacGuffin thing everyone will be chasing after throughout the film, a special evil crown that bestows its wielder immense power. In the present day, a Lara Croft-type archaeologist named Isis, played by Sarah Shahi, is searching for the crown in order to protect it from evildoers. But wouldn't you know it, she's ambushed by a paramilitary group, so she summons Black Adam to help her. Awakening in the present day, Adam gets right down to work by messing up everyone's day. He's amused by newfangled progressive ideas like not killing people who look at him funny. But we can't have that. No melting people into skeletons. So a team of superheroes called the Justice Society is summoned to take him down. Not the Justice League, mind you, because Warner Brothers is still trying to figure out who will stay and who will get fired. Ezra Miller. The villain side of the equation is rounded out by an army of mercenaries with seemingly infinite ammo. The Rock is the typical anti-hero, but this film sees a whole squadron of DC Comics heroes make the leap from the comics to the silver screen. Noah Centineo, Quintessa Swindell, Aldous Hodge, and Pierce Brosnan play the Justice Society, which you may or may not have heard of. They're hardly A-level names, but neither were the Avengers prior to the MCU. With so many new and unfamiliar superheroes jammed into one movie, you might wonder how the producers managed their introductions. Well, they didn't even try. They just walked right on in. I wish there was more exposition into Dr. Fate and Hawkman's relationship, but there really wasn't. Atom Smasher and Cyclone are introduced rather quickly and fall very blandly. I think the whole group fell flat overall. The standout, however, was Pierce Brosnan, but that's no surprise as he can clearly command the screen in any movie he's ever in. DC movies are often guilty of leaning on your comics knowledge a little too much, which leaves a general movie-going audience scratching their heads as to who these characters even are. Before seeing this movie, I had never heard of these characters. The general lack of a cohesive plan in the DCEU leaves Warner far behind in their quest to reach Marvel's massive mainstream audience. No movie should come with homework. Had there been a plan, had these characters been hinted at or cameoed in other movies, this could have worked better. We've reached a point in the superhero movie genre where we can probably accept a new squad of improbably powered random characters in every film. But it would have been nice if they gave the audience something to root for. None of the characters are crafted with any history, personality, goals, or even flaws. This has been a massive problem in Hollywood during the dark ages of cinema in the past decade, especially with woke films. Each character in this movie is identified by what kind of quip or comment they can make when punching people, a running gag in the film. The rest of the cast just doesn't seem to measure up to the gravitas of other superhero movie casts, namely in the MCU. Centineo blends a Mark Ruffalo-style befuddlement with Tom Holland-level dorkiness, which ends up falling flat. Quintessa Swindell is very much underutilized and is just there as very much a background character, perhaps angering the woke Twitterati professional journalists who reviewed this film poorly. The archaeologist's teen son sort of shepherds the story along while skateboarding basically anywhere. Mohammed Amer's performance, though, is quite charming and something that a character like America Chavez lacked in droves. Amer is an up-and-coming actor to watch out for. The large cast kind of pushes aside Dwayne Johnson into the sidelines in his own movie. On top of that, a digital double of Johnson is glaringly subbed in for the action sequences. Why even cast a commanding figure like The Rock, one of the most physical dudes in the world, only to sideline him and overuse the CGI? It doesn't make any sense. And speaking of the CGI, this kind of hurt my eyes. At times there was so much crap going on screen that it became confusing. It kind of reminded me of the video game Bayonetta, just way too much going on. But I guess that's where we've come to with superhero movies. Thanks, Marvel. Underneath all the deafening banging and crashing of all the CGI, there is some substance of note. Black Adam is set in a fictional Middle Eastern country under military occupation, where armed foreign mercenaries shove kids around at checkpoints. Hawkman spouts platitudes about global stability in the same breath as threatening force. Shahi's character chastises them for showing up 27 years too late after showing no interest in the repressive subjugation of her people. Sound familiar? After 21 years of failed foreign policy on behalf of practically all G20 nations, we get some scathing commentary from a surprising source, a superhero movie. Despite some muddled ideas, Black Adam's themes around globalization and power dynamics shows hints of a smart movie hidden inside a very, very dumb movie. I will commend the writers for the effort. Perhaps they can expand on these ideas in a future film, and perhaps outside of this genre. Overall, I think the only reason I didn't enjoy it as much was because of superhero movie fatigue. But other than that, it was competently shot and acted without any wokeness. We didn't see female characters berating male counterparts as dumb, useless idiots like we do in every other movie. And I guess that's a breath of fresh air. But as I've mentioned in my prior reviews, the tide may be turning. Movies like Top Gun Maverick, Medieval, and Bullet Train moved away from woke messaging and got rich in the process. With Elon Musk taking over Twitter and firing the whole lot of activists, we may see a further wave of great films without all the woke baggage. And I, for one, welcome that. Hopefully box office results allow anti-woke warriors like Warner CEO David Zaslav to bring us great films in the future. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more great content.